Hello, buddy, and welcome to a tropical update here. This is a wide view of the Atlantic right now. You can see we got an area of interest in the western Gulf of Mexico. The big story for the United States in terms of hurricane impacts, we got Hurricane Sally slowly heading up towards the coast here, the Alabama, Florida coast here. Then we got Hurricane Paulette racing on off to the northeast here in the open Atlantic. Fortunately, staying away from all land at this point in time, fortunately. Then we also got an area of interest up here, just to the northeast of the Azores, that has a decent chance, not a decent, but a fairly small chance at this point in time. Of course, that could change with time here, into intensifying into at least a subtropical or maybe perhaps a tropical cyclone here with time as it heads farther down south here. Then we also got not hurricane, about to be hurricane, high-end tropical storm Teddy right now, currently going on an open Atlantic, poised to strengthen to a major hurricane as it progresses into the open Atlantic. Fortunately, not really impacting anyone except perhaps Bermuda here later on down the line, and I'll talk to you guys more in detail about that a little bit here. Then, of course, we have Tropical Storm Vicky being sheared by the outflow from Tropical Storm Teddy right now, and then to the southeast of Vicky, we have Invest 98L turning in the Atlantic that came off of Africa not too long ago that has a high chance of formation from the National Hurricane Center last outlook. Let's start off with Hurricane Sally on the latest hourly update from the National Hurricane Center in text here. Um, we can see 11 p.m. Central Standard Time position update. Sally strengthens while moving slowly northeastward. Data from an Air Force Reserve reconnaissance aircraft and the data from the Mobile, Alabama Doppler weather radar indicate that Sally has strengthened to a 90 mile per hour or 150 kilometer an hour Category 1 hurricane here. A sustained wind of 67 miles per hour, 108 kilometers an hour, with a gust of up to 82 miles per hour, 131 kilometers an hour, was recently reported in Sally's northern Iowa by NOAA buoy 420112. I mean 12, located about 50 miles southeast of Mobile, Alabama. And as of the 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 UTC hourly information here. The center is currently located at 29.8 degrees north, 87.8 degrees west, about 65 miles or 105 kilometers south-southeast of Mobile, Alabama, about 60 miles or 95 kilometers southwest of Pensacola, Florida. Maximum sustained winds 90 miles per hour, 150 kilometers an hour. Present movement north-northeast or at 0.15 degrees at 2 miles per hour or 4 kilometers an hour, with minimum central pressure down to 971 millibars or 28.67 inches as of this latest update. And again, this is an hourly update, so the cone does not update hourly here. It's only we're only getting hourly text updates here, not cone updates, unfortunately here. So the cone is still from 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, about an hour ago. But still, you can see the wind field the storm has, and just how slow it's been moving here. Unfortunately, um, it's pretty much slowing down a little bit before landfall here. Fortunately, as it heads inland, it's forecast to pick up speed here. Fortunately, it should be starting to pick up steam here, at least after landfall here, for areas inland of the coast here. And here's a look at infrared imagery of Hurricane Sally right now, and you can see how that eye has been getting more and more clear with time here as the nights progressed here. Be interesting to see how the storm progresses on overnight into tomorrow here. If it decides to strengthen more, if it stays steady at 90 miles per hour, it'll be interesting to see if that holds up. But you can see again a decent and still a serious situation here as the storm is slowly moving up to the coast here at about 2 miles per hour. So it's incredible. It can pretty much sprint and beat this storm here. It's pretty much at walking speed or at jogging speed here. This storm is traveling here to give you a kind of reference of how slow Sally is moving right now. Then we also got Hurricane Paulette, like I said, in the wide view of the Atlantic here. Again, moving east-northeast at 28 miles per hour, currently located at 40.7 degrees north, 52.4 degrees west of maximum sustained winds, estimated to be at 100 miles per hour, making it a Category 2 hurricane here. And it's forecast to race on off to the east-northeast and eventually turn more south here. And the National Hurricane Center do note by the end of the forecast period, by around either Sunday or Saturday here at the National Hurricane Center, note that it could regain perhaps tropical characteristics here and perhaps reform or regenerate here into a tropical cyclone here. So it'll be interesting to see if that occurs, and if it does, where the storm would ultimately end up here with time. So just an interesting note there. And I can see this is a lot of imagery of Hurricane Paulette right now. You can see it's being sheared right now. Um, that's why you don't really see an eye at all really on the storm anymore. It's because it's just getting sheared by some really heavy wind shear at this point in time. But like I said, it's forecast to move east northeast for a little bit here, and then eventually move pretty much due south, and perhaps by that point it should be extratropical. But by that point, when it goes more south and it takes that southern jog, may perhaps regain tropical characteristics here, and maybe reform here. So again, that'll be interesting to see if that ends up happening or not. Here's a look at Tropical Storm Teddy on the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center, the latest cone, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time Advisory 14 here. The sensor is currently located at 15.0 degrees north or 48.3 degrees west, with maximum sustained winds estimated to be at 70 miles per hour, moving to the northwest at 9 miles per hour. And Teddy is forecast to peak as a major hurricane here with 115 miles per hour, a little bit lower than they forecasted before. I think they forecasted at one point, I think it was 125, I want to say. I think two advisories before this one, but now they've kind of backed off a little bit on the intensity for Hurricane Teddy. So really interesting here. And as it gets here on the last forecast point there, Teddy may also perhaps, unfortunately, threaten the island of Bermuda again after they already got hit by Hurricane Paulette not too long ago here. So you guys in Bermuda need to be keeping a close eye on Teddy here. Of course, the forecast could shift more east or more west here, or be a little bit stronger, be a little bit weaker than forecast. So just keep an eye on this storm as the days progress here. For at this point in time, well not at this point in time, but by that point I mean should be a stronger Teddy there, a stronger probably a Hurricane Teddy there by that point. And here's a look at infrared satellite imagery here from cyclonic wicks again, and I can see just how the storm's been doing the past few hours here. Um, wouldn't surprise me to see them maybe up it to a maybe a moderate range or maybe a high range Category 1 hurricane here in the next update. Be interesting to see what the National Hurricane Center think on this storm when they do the next update here in a few hours from now. And again, I must stress I'm not a certified meteorologist by any means. It's just a hobby of mine. So keep my opinions are not official by any means here. My opinions are my own, so if you want to get the latest official information, always make sure you refer to your local officials here, like the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service, and local officials through your area here. And then really quickly, here's also a look at Tropical Storm Vicky, which still has 50-mile-per-hour winds, currently located at 21.6 degrees north, 33.1 degrees west, and Vicky is fortunately uh, forecast to stay well away from any land at this point in time, and fortunately no issue except for maybe any boaters or marine interests that happen to be in the immediate area of Tropical Storm Vicky here, as you can see, and of course forecast to weaken from this point on. Um, this 50 mile per hour wind, 50 mile per hour 1 minute sustained wind seem to be its peak at this point in time, unless it decides to pull faster and maybe intensify slightly more before eventually, by what the National Hurricane Center think at least, eventually go ahead and probably dissipate in a few days here, as it still gets really, as you can see in this infrared imagery, it's again clearly getting sphered by the outflow of probably soon to be Hurricane Teddy here, as you can see. So really amazing how it's kept up at 50 mile per hour maximum sustained winds here, and as you know the hours and days progress here, and it kind of still gets tangled up in Tropical Storm Teddy's wind shear here. It should hopefully make Tropical Storm Vicky weaken here for the next couple of days. And here's a quick look of Tropical Storm Karina in the Eastern Pacific right now at 60 miles per hour. Pretty much peaked out at this point in time and forecast to gradually weaken, and probably looks like eventually dissipate by about 5 p.m. Friday there in the East Pacific. Fortunately, again, with this storm, like I said with Vicky, poses no threat whatsoever to land. It just poses really a threat to any boaters or any marine interests in the immediate area of the storm here. And again, here's a look at infrared imagery of the storm here, Tropical Storm Karina, as you can see there. And then here's a look at the wide view of the Atlantic from the National Hurricane Center page here. And then we got a lot to talk about area of interest wise here. We got an area of interest in the Gulf of Mexico here, Western Gulf of Mexico. 10% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and then 20% chance throughout the next 5 days, as you can see there. Then disturbance number 3 has a 10% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours, and also a 20% chance of formation throughout the next 5 days as it veers more south and eventually southeast. By the looks of it, and perhaps may gain um, tropical or subtropical characteristics here as the days go on here. So really interesting to see an area of interest this far northeast. I don't think I've ever seen one this far northeast, so I don't know if this is a record of some sort. This is called the Invest 99L at this point. It's been tagged the Invest 99L. It's tagged the Invest 99L about this time last night. So it'll be interesting to see if that ultimately decides to develop or not here. Now below this we got Invest 98L, or also referred to as the Stimps number 2 here, has a medium 50% chance of formation throughout the next 48 hours into the next 5 days, has a high 70% chance of formation. And if this storm gets named, it'll be, of course, named Tropical Storm Wilfred here, which, of course, is the last name from the Atlantic hurricane season. List the names here. It'll be the last name here before we head into Greeks here. Um, throughout this as the season progresses here, so it'll be interesting to see if this does become Wilfred. And like I said, if it does become Wilfred, we'll then be going on to the Greeks in terms of naming. So we'll start with Alpha, Beta, and etc. Like we did with 2005. 2005 was the only other year where we had to resort to using Greek names to name these storms here. Um, so if looks like 2020 is likely to head into the Greeks just like 2005 did. Fortunately, this season so far, at least, of course, that could completely change here, but so far, 2020 is not to the standard that 2005 was in terms of hurricane impacts to the United States. Of course, by this point we had Katrina. I think we had Rita at this point. Actually, we had Katrina, Rita, and then I think we had no, I think Rita was actually a little bit before this. So we had Katrina, we had Emily, we had Dennis, and many other significant storms impact the United States by this point in the 2005 season. So we're really fortunate to not have much in the way of any Category 5s or 4 impacts to the coastline, with the major exception being at this point, Hurricane Laura not too long ago. So that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. Again, when you to keep yourself updated on the latest information on these storms, please look at the official information like the National Weather Service here. Just type of weather.gov, just type of NWS, and it'll probably be the first search result here. And again, you'll know you're on the correct page, and you see all this crucial life-saving information here, and you could click anywhere on this map here and click on there, and take you to the Pensacola forecast office, and it gives you all this good crucial life-saving information right here in front of your fingertips here. Stop the video right now and read this if you want to, of course, and it will give you all this crucial life-saving information you need to know ahead of time here with these hurricanes here. Lastly, I forgot to show you the key messages here for Hurricane Sally here, and you can look at the stop the video right now and read that if you want to, the English version of that, and then of course here's the Spanish version of the same thing as well if you want to stop the video right now and read this if you want to as well. And here's peak surge graphic, and looks like peak surge is forecast to be about 4 to 6 feet. Looks like a lot lower than it was previously forecast, which is really great news to hear. But of course, still a significant storm surge here to be taken seriously here, especially for you guys in the low-lying parts of the coastline here in this part of the country. And here's the rainfall graphic as well. Looks like 20 inches of rainfall is forecast in parts of coastal Alabama here by the looks of it. So really serious storm to say the least here. So hope everybody enjoyed this tropical update here. I apologize for the kind of hurriedness of this update here. I'll try to do one tomorrow to the best of my ability here. I may not be able to do one, but I'll try to do one tomorrow. So hope everybody stays safe. Again, listen to your local officials here, like the National Hurricane Center, National Weather Service, and local officials in your area for being impacted by Hurricane Sally at this point, or any other areas of interest later on down the line as this hurricane season progresses here. Busy hurricane season so far. So as long as you're prepared and you have your hurricane kit, which you should have done so already, you'll be fine with this hurricane season. And again, hope this video wasn't too long here and too confusing here. It's a bit late over here, so I apologize if I was sounded confused here. But if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll answer them to the best of my ability as well too. And other than that, I think that's about it here. So hope everybody has a great day now. Stay safe, of course. Till then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.